Good day, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. My name is SheepDog24. Let's get into this one then. So we are back on the Speed Hop Suit Remastered and looking to, well, continue our progress into this series. Hopefully you are enjoying it. Hopefully you enjoyed yesterday's two videos because they both took a lot of effort. I was very tired after doing the second video. But hopefully you did enjoy the 100 subscriber special. I won't spoil it, but you can check it out on my channel as well as Cat Bunny's channel as well. Make sure you check out his POV of it as well. But looking onto the stats here, we've got 42% game completion. And next week, exactly on this day, next week, Thursday, there will be a video which will be like what we did in Burnout Paradise, where episode 20 will be where we look at the most, the best parts from all of the previous episodes, apart from the first one because I wasn't able to save that one. But we're going to be doing the same, and I think actually this time it will be halfway, because I tried to get it halfway for Burnout Paradise, but we're already on episode 43, and we've got a little bit to go before we finish the game, so not quite there yet, but hopefully we should be about halfway when we hit 20. So I reckon there'll be 40 episodes of this, but we're going to be in the 911 Speedster doing a night and rainy 3 AM 2 spike strip, 2 jammer, 2 EMPs, 8.4 mile course for a gauntlet called Barnstormer. This one I think is a DLC one because we're going to be using the 911 Speedster, which was a DLC car I believe on the police side, so I imagine it is on this side as well. But already we're off to the races as we have a Lamborghini looking to chase us, and again this flipping road is so annoying because I'm trying to get oncoming boost, but switching back to this side of the tunnel because there seems to be less cars, it's very tricky. And as you can see there, we crashed and slowed ourselves down a lot. Not a full crash cam, but still very much so slowed down. And this police officer isn't doing me any favours either, still trying to smash into me, and then eventually smash into his mate, and as I get recovered I seem to smash into him as well. So that is both cop cars down and out already. We have a helicopter that's been deployed on us though, and there is also a roadblock to cause issues for us as well. But now it's become a bit of a helicopter versus me. So as we skip things on ahead, we just avoid the helicopter spike strip pretty much, and then that's it. Take it off into the off-road, and get the off-road a bit wrong because I forgot the direction that the shortcut goes through. But the helicopter's gone, there's no more cops. We didn't use any of our equipment, I don't think. It was just lucky that we went into the guy that spawned in and then crashed into the guy as soon as I respawned. But unfortunately though, it was still enough to slow us down and not enough to get the gold of 3 minutes 25. So we have to go for a restart on this event, go for round 2, and I'm literally going to play out round 2 because it was a very short round. Of course we have the Murcielago, or Gallarado should I say, showing the way and pursuing us, and as I come around this corner I for some reason drive straight into a car, and seeing as how tight the last attempt was, I decided to restart. So once around 3 already, the Gallarado again starting to pursue us, and this time I go quite early onto the correct side of the road to make sure that we don't have to make that weird jig right to get onto the correct side of the road just before the tunnel. But heading through the tunnel, and the police officers sort of just standing on the same side. They don't really seem to switch sides for some reason. I try and avoid the roadblock, just about get through, slight tap on it, but able to get through pretty much unscathed. And both these police officers are continue to be on the oncoming lane, which is not going to help them really as I take a shortcut. And as you can see, one of them collides with traffic, so they're already starting to get a bit low HP, and we're not even really doing much. And even the helicopter that they've spawned in is looking on the wrong side of the road. We're we're on the other side, we're on the correct side of the road. Not too sure why the AI are doing this. I thought they would keep switching, but as of right now, they're just sort of staying on this side. The roadblock has deployed a bit better, but we're still able to get through on a gap, but we're not able to get past this car here as we collide into him, and that's going to bring the officers back into play. Fortunately, one of the officers did crash into the car there, and as we have spike strips deployed on the road ahead, the other cop car decides to run into them, and I use a jammer to make sure that I avoid the helicopter spike strip because it looked like I was going to hit it, but we do get the hit onto our own spike strip chucked behind, and it does weaken one of the cops, not quite take them out, but both of them I believe are on low health right now. And you've of course got the helicopter as well. We've taken to the off-road and trying to hope that the spike strip would have gained itself back a bit quicker, but we do get the wreck on that cop, and then as he deploys the EMP onto us, we can just chuck out another spike strip, and that is that cop done. So it's once again a one-on-one versus the helicopter, but I don't think it will have too many more uses, right? Because it's already used one of its spike strips. We jam that one. As we speed things along here, he's going to try and deploy another, but we've already got it jammed, we've already got it locked on, and so that is him done. That's him out of fuel. They can't call it anymore because there's no, you know, ground car units to help. So it's just us versus the road, and this time I believe that we're way more up compared to our time on the first attempt. So things are looking way better as we go through the canyon. Sort of reminds me of Cheddar Gorge. Not that I saw much of it though. We had to go home because one of my, or we had to go to A&E because one of my family members slipped on the gorge. So yeah, that's a funny story. It's like our own Grand Canyon. This is not a Grand Canyon though. This is just part of Seacrest County, a made up place of course. But nonetheless, enough waffling because we're across the line and we've got gold fairly easily. Well, I say fairly easily. It was until we crashed. Then I thought, oh my god, my voice was even scared as well. I thought, oh, maybe we weren't going to be able to do it, but we did do it, and we do get 2 new cars. I can imagine that you can guess what one of them is. It's a new car, and it's the new Porsche 911 Speedster. That is from the Porsche Unleashed pack, which you get for free with the remastered version. Never knew that was a thing until last episode, where I finally checked it and realised that they give you more Porsches from the Porsche Unleashed pack. But we also get the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640 or 640. So good to add another Lambo to our collection. But the next pursuit that we're going to be doing is the arms race hot pursuit for the police department. This time we're going to be using the speed enforcement unit, so this is the first time we're using tier 4 for the police, and even on the races we haven't even used it. And I decided that my weapon of choice will be the Viper SRT-10 ACR cop car. Looks really cool, to be honest, and we'll be using it in cloudy conditions at 11 AM with 5 bus, 4 spike strips, 2 helicopters and 4 EMPs.
All units, we have a high priority situation on Rockingham Road.
So 5 pesky suspects to try and bust. Most of them using similar cars to me, of course in the same class, the what would it be for them, exotic series I believe. I don't remember what it's called on the racers side, but we're just chipping away at some of these already. We've got multiple different cars here. We've got the Dodge Viper SRT as well, like us, as we try and deploy an EMP but get jammed. We also have an Aston Martin to contend with. There he goes, flying past. I believe we used the police version of that in a preview event early on in the series. But we're going to be deploying a helicopter nonetheless, and the traffic car has been hit, so it should be moving slower ahead. Can't quite see him yet though, and we deploy the helicopter and he has to go around, unfortunately. Continuing to follow them though as we head off-road, because one of them did go off-road, so trying to stick with them a little bit. And then we deploy the EMP on them. I believe it's a Porsche 918. We also chuck a spike strip behind, and that does finish off the Dodge, which is good. We get the EMP and it hits onto this guy. He goes into a traffic car and he goes straight into us, so that is him busted as well. We have an EMP locked onto us though, so I pull over to the side, avoid the spike strip and then go past, and then instantly he annoyingly deploys another EMP, so we chuck a spike strip behind to ruin his day there, and that EMP does miss fortunately. But then once again, 3 times in a row he deploys an EMP and we get a lovely 1-2 with the helicopter. The helicopter hits him with a spike strip, he goes straight into our path and we get him. But we also get EMP'd as well, because this guy is relentless with his EMPs and he just has an instant recharge, it seems. So we try and show him who's boss by chucking out a spike strip behind. That does get him, and you can just about have seen there that the helicopter did get a spike strip hit as well. I didn't see it at the time, but it meant that the guy behind was spun out. And speaking of spun out, we've been crashed because we've been hit at by like 1,000 miles per hour, it feels like, from this this suspect car. So we've got a little bit of ground to try and clear now, so we're going to speed things up as we also have deployed a helicopter to try and help this this endeavour. But we finally catch up to them, deploy an EMP, and assuming that we get this, which we do indeed, that is him busted and a rather violent jink to the left. And we also get rather violent as we couldn't control the car there and we get launched up. And we narrowly avoid the helicopter spike strip, just about, quite close. And we're just trying to stick with this Murcielago here, I believe. And we'll deploy the EMP. It takes a while to lock on because we're too close to them, but eventually we get the lock on, eventually we get the hit off, and that is him on pretty low HP. But unfortunately, like usual, they like to run away a little bit, giving themselves a bit of breathing room. The helicopter does miss, and I had to chuck on the brakes there thinking I was going to get hit by the spike strip, but the hitbox I guess must have just disappeared for it, because I ran over it but I didn't get hit, so I ain't gonna complain there. I'll take that any day of the week. But anyway, we're gonna speed things up again. The helicopter gets in position ahead, misses, and we narrowly avoid the spike strip once again. But that's the helicopter gone. It's just us versus this fella now. It's all on us versus him as we glide through the mountains. We're starting to lose some of this time here. Smash into him to get him quite weak. I thought about deploying a spike strip, but I wasn't sure whether he'd go right or continue on this path, so I didn't in the end. But we're sticking somewhat with him. He's starting to get away a little bit, but in some of these corners we can definitely make up time. We're already very close to him, and around this corner we just straight line it, and that is his race done and dusted. Crashed into the barrier, back onto the dirt there, and that is the race shut down in 4 minutes and 30.42. But more importantly, we get the distinction award as well. So could have finished that one off quite quickly, a bit more quicker than we did, at least anyway, but we didn't in the end. But you know, it doesn't really matter, we still did it, we still got the distinction. And we also get a new reward as well in the form of a car for our efforts. Let's see what this car is. New vehicle given to us, and it's the Chevy Corvette ZR1 supercharged for the speed enforcement unit. So another good car to add to the collection for the police side. But we're going to be doing the blacklisted hot pursuit event now. This one has quite an interesting description. It seems like we're going to be chased by a sheriff at some point, but we're going to be using the AMG SL65 AMG Black Series from Mercedes-Benz, and the conditions are sunny at 8 PM with 3 spike strips, 3 jammers, 2 EMPs, or 3 EMPs should I say, 2 turbos, 11.9 miles ahead of us at 8 PM, and already we're being chased by some Porsches over here. in our white Mercedes. We've already used this car, in fact, in a, what was it? Was it a time trial or a gauntlet? I think something like that. So glad to have to use it again, I guess. But we're already being caught up by the Porsches a little bit here. So as we go to the oncoming, we seem to gain a massive speed boost and are able to get away a little bit. We take first as well, just heading on through the highway into the tunnel. Speed things up a little bit because the police don't really catch us. We do get past for first and second though, so we're into third now. But we're looking pretty alright so far, as they do deploy a roadblock ahead of us. So just following the line of the GTR, which does make it through unscathed. So that's helpful for us, and then we can take first just about through this corner. Bit of a punt wide for him, but I'm sure he'll live. And as we come around the corner, you can see there is the big bad sheriff. He's had enough of us playing around with some of his other officers. He's decided to come out himself to try and take us down in his Chevy. In fact, I think that's the car that we got, or if not a very similar one. As we chuck a spike strip out, it does hit someone, just the wrong target really. I was aiming for the cop car behind us, not the guy in second behind us, but nonetheless we deploy a turbo to try and escape from these guys as a helicopter goes over us. But I just about see the lights and I see myself crashing straight into this roadblock. So if the person's in that cop car there, then rest in peace, because they just got a turbocharged Mercedes slammed straight into them. And yeah, it's not looking good for the sheriff though, as we avoid the helicopter spike strip, or rather the what's the name, the Aston Martin takes the brunt force of it for us instead. And we deploy an EMP to try and attach onto this cop car. We do just about get it done. And then up ahead there's a few other cop cars. One just stops on the road for some reason. The sheriff tries to deploy an EMP, or sorry, a spike strip on us, but we end up just slamming straight into him. It does help us avoid the helicopter spike strip as well. And so that's the sheriff down and out. I think that police car, if you saw on the left there, he got taken out by an EMP from someone else. And then we get through the roadblock courtesy of the Nissan GTR, as we also deploy a turbo, which, to be honest, a bit of foreshadowing here, I do sort of come to regret a little bit. But nonetheless, we're going to continue on. Turbo was perfect and we are into first, which is the main important thing. But we have a helicopter in front of us. They tried to deploy a spike strip. That does just about miss us, fortunately. And we're going to speed things up a little bit here because the cops were pretty far behind. We had a bit of fighting to contend with second and third behind us, looking to try and get first, but we just place our car well enough to stop them pretty much. And as we come round this corner, I want you to pay attention to the right, because this guy crashes and that's pretty much him done for his title charge, at least at the moment. And so just continuing on as well, another cop car is ahead of us, so we take to the off-road. And unfortunately I don't really know this off-road too well, and so I crash into multiple walls, really slow myself down, which is not really ideal, to be honest. But we chuck out an EMP to latch on to one of the Porsches ahead of us. The sheriff has somehow found a new car. We do get the EMP wreck on this Porsche though, which is good for us. But we're into fourth and there's less than a mile to the finish, so this is what I'm saying. We could have really used this turbo here. We're going to have to make a little charge for ourselves, try and get past. We're up into second. The guy in first is just about ahead of us. We deploy a jammer to make sure nothing interferes with us, but the finish line's there. We've not done it. We've only got second. Only got second, ladies and gents. 4 minutes 40 and second. Silver is all that we can get. And unfortunately we're not going to be retrying this event today. We're going to have to try and get our revenge in the next episode. But don't worry, there is still a event to come on the police side for this episode. But we'll have to settle for second, at least right now, in the blacklisted Hot Pursuit event and retry it in the next episode. But Right now we're about to go to Fight Night Interceptor event. Could have used multiple different cars, ended up settling on the Ford GT, that being, I believe, the 2005 one. So not the one that won Le Mans, but there you go. We have night conditions with rainy conditions as well at 10 PM, 3 minutes for distinction, and only 2 spike strips.
From local patrol unit, patching them through.
We're on Fairview Road in pursuit of a Dodge Viper. Suspect is very aggressive and has already disabled one of our patrol cars.
Confirm patrol. Interceptor unit en route. Proceeding with extreme caution.
Alright, so here we go then. As I said, only 2 spike strips, so you're going to have to use mainly brunt force to try and slow this guy down. Though to be honest, if I saw that I was being pursued by a Ford GT, I'd be very scared, to say the least. But he does chuck out a spike strip behind us. We obviously dodge it quite easily, to be honest. Just continue to go around, and this corner, I can't lie, I can never get it well done. It's just so inviting, and then it goes so tight after. Nonetheless though, we try and deal a little bit of damage on the Dodge Viper, but I've noticed that in interceptor events they seem to have more health, and your damage does like less to them. Unfortunately though, a bit more damage is gained onto us though, because we get hit by a spike strip, and so now we have to play a bit of catch up with well, almost half our health done already. It's been a minute, and so we're going to speed things up again to try and catch the guy here, because it's just me trying to pursue him. And then we finally do catch up to him, and trying to just about get ahead, do a little bit of damage to him if we can. I couldn't really see where he went here, and then I did find him. Tried to deploy a spike strip, but we moved a little bit to the left there, which hasn't really helped us, so just trying to stick in front of him still, and then we can deploy another spike strip. This time it does hit his target, and so now I just try and wait for him to drive past us, and he goes at incredibly fast speeds, deploys another spike strip. We do avoid that one fortunately, and we're going to speed things up again, because again it's just us playing bit of cat and mouse and trying to chase him, and so yeah, just continuing to go through here, go off the highway, or at least the highway sort of ends, and now we have the 1-lane desert track ahead of us. You can see that we do try and hustle and harry at him a little bit. Again, some of these hits would deal loads more damage in a pursuit, but in interceptor, like you see that he's just completely stopped and died, but he's still alive. Unfortunately, but there you go. That's also made it so that we have not been able to get the gold, and we're on very low HP, and so I decide, yeah, probably time to restart this attempt. But we go for the second attempt then, again just following the SRT Viper at the start, trying to gun for gold. But to be honest, we probably wouldn't have got any medal if we continue that run, because we were very low HP. And what I've now realised, I only realised this after this event, is that this guy seems to be deploying his spike ships at the exact same points. So I could have actually tried to predict them a bit, and that would help me to avoid them. But you know, there you go. But that's just how it works, I guess. You just see these sort of things after you've done this event, and again, just trying to whittle down his damage, and I can't see the spray here as well, which isn't going to help, as he deploys another spike strip, and I fall for the same trap twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, I guess. As we do speed things up again to try and catch him. But yeah, he just seems to have so much HP compared to the damage that we're doing. And you're about to see here in a moment, as we slow things down again, he crashes into a traffic car and I slam straight into him, and there's like 1 bar of damage. Like, it's crazy. We do narrowly avoid the spike strip though. He deployed that one a little bit earlier compared to when I was used to it last time, but I guess that was because we're in front of him, which helped. But again, speeding things up again, because he's just on this little charge of his again because of how fast the dodge is, I guess. Then he crashes into a traffic car, which has really helped slow him down. And then we cut across him, deploy some spike strips. One of them does at least hit, the other is ready in case he drives over it, but he does avoid it. And so now we just have to look behind. He's very low HP, and just get ready in position, chuck some spikes behind, and that is his event over, as for some reason we were looking at the traffic car there that was in front of him. But we do finally get the distinction award for this event, with 2 minutes 26.76 being the time that we get for the fight night event. So, well done to us. Pretty tricky events all in all today. I mean, we didn't do amazingly well, despite me saying last time out that that we don't really fail much now. In the last two episodes we certainly have failed a bit more, and we're close to getting the next rank, but not quite there, unfortunately. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy the episode, go ahead and hit the like button, comment anything you enjoyed below, subscribe if you enjoy all my content. Give me some constructive criticism. We will be back for revenge, but until then, it's been Chief Dog 74, and I'll see you guys in the next one.